Classic, bro.
Been a long time.
Take you back, dude.
Yeah, it does.
Hit you in the field box.
The whole intro music and all the drops.
Dude.
Just
legendary.
Yeah.
As they call it.
With the glass, the cracking in the front. Need that glass shatter intro.
Dude, that's stone cold. Just set everything right, dude.
Yeah.
Just everything needs to start that way.
Yeah, it does.
Like start a band and just all 12 tracks on the album.
Dude, I never understood like why a football team, like, you know, when they run out, like why are they, none of them's done like the glass shattering and the stone cold music. Did that ever get the crowd so hyped?
Dude, hype them immediately, dude. You do any of them
Quarterback
wrestling
goes to
songs.
the center of the field, just throwing beers and he starts smashing them.
Or get whoever makes those wrestling songs to make one for the football team, you know?
Dude, it's like one guy that does it. He he works at like the WWE like building up in Massachusetts or Connecticut. Like that's like his job is he just writes all these intros.
Plays a guitar solo in the Rocks intro.
Crazy, man.
It goes on for like 10 minutes long, dude. Classic, bro.
Man.
We could do that. Top 10 wrestling intros.
Easily,
bro.
Easily could do that.
Some good ones, bro.
Yeah. Man.
But that's not why we're here.
That isn't why we're here today.
No. That's why we played the classic tune now. Here for the our top 10 favorite podcasts.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man. This I mean, not only do we do one ourselves, but we're connoisseurs of the genre.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I listen to a lot. I'm fortunate to work a job where I'm able to listen to pretty much all day most of the time.
Right.
So I do listen to quite a bit. So decided to just count down the top 10 podcasts.
Yeah, man.
And the only rules I really set for myself is there's a lot of like TV shows that they transform into a podcast. Like, for example, like Bill Maher's show, you can listen to as a podcast. The Herd, the Colin Coward, you can listen to his show as a podcast. Pardon the interruption,
things like that,
all that shit. I did not count any of those.
I don't think I got any of those.
So that was like the only ground rule I set.
Yeah.
Because those aren't podcasts. There's shows that are on network
just
TV
recorded,
that they transform into podcasts like day after or whatever.
Where's the skill?
Yeah.
I feel you, man.
So it had to be a strictly podcast format.
Audio format.
And as an honorable mention, sorry they didn't make the list, I'm not going to lie, but they're old friends at Squadcast.
Yeah.
I give them a little shout out. There's some newer up-and-coming guys. I do enjoy their show. It's like 4 guys that are pretty relatable. Like
out on the West Coast.
Out on the, Washington area. And, I mean, they talk about drinking beer, eating pizza, and getting high. So, like, that's your thing.
Can't go wrong with that.
That's your guys, man.
That's where it's at, dude.
Yeah, it's not overproduced. They said they're working on some new equipment. Not that their current equipment's bad or anything, but they're upgrading their show as they grow, so it's cool to hear.
Yeah, man.
So
Definitely.
I wanted to give them a shout out. They gave us a shout out a few weeks ago, and so here it is.
There you go.
There it is. Go check them out. Squadcast.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Let me start this off.
Yeah. What's your number 10 favorite
dude.
podcast?
This is one I wasn't gonna put on the list, but I did, and it's just the old episodes of movie fights, man.
Yeah,
they were that good. You know what I mean?
They
Back
really
in
were.
the day,
Dude.
they were that good.
I honestly thought about this when I was making this list. I was like, we did this like a year and a half ago. Like movie fights is like
contention for number 1.
It's in the top 3 probably.
Yeah,
it was good, man. It's such a shame it went to such shit.
I know.
I don't even really know why. It was like a big overreaction, I think.
Just the whole Me Too swing of things, man.
Yeah, but it was like, dude, no one really gave a fuck about that.
It was weird. Like, out of everything, like a podcast with no rules, like, this is the one that takes the stand.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It was interesting.
It was bizarre, man. And now, for those of you who don't know, the host of that, he was like the guy that started Screen Junkies, and it was Andy Signore. And he was like accused of some crazy stuff, which they never proved. any of the like all the messages he was sending that were just creepy at best. They weren't like rapey or anything. It was just
nothing condemning.
Just a dude using like his show to his advantage, which we know everyone.
He's got no game, yeah.
Which we know most people probably do.
Yeah. I use mine.
Yeah, I mean, he owned up to it because I follow him on Instagram and Twitter. He like owned up to it, but he's like, I have proof that nothing else happened. Like, I guess he has like alibis and he's working with lawyers and shit to
clear himself,
to clear his name on some of the accusations that were made against him. So I was like, I'll give this dude a benefit of the doubt. Now he's relocated in Florida, in Tampa, and he's got popcorn flicks. I think popcorn talk. That's it. Popcorn ed talk.
Okay.
And I mean, it's not bad, dude. Like, he definitely doesn't have the resources that he did with old Screen Junkies, but I mean, yeah, it's still good. Hopefully you get a chance. He's doing his own version of movie fights again.
Yeah.
It's like Nerd Wars is what he calls it.
Okay.
And it's right now it's just a YouTube channel, so I haven't really delved into it much.
Yeah.
But I messaged him and he like responded back. They do plan on releasing it as a podcast, so might have to check that out.
Dude, see if we can go down there and get on, bro.
I mean,
my parents live like I'm 45 out of Tampa, bro.
Dude, I mean, I'm pretty sure he would. At this point, like, it's just no names that are on the show right now.
Dude,
but
we'll come clean house.
Yeah,
it was always good because they'd pick like a topic, and there'd always be a moderator. Like if you don't know how the format was. And there'd be like 3 people battling, so they'd be like, all right, who's the best Spider-Man? And then like those 3 people will all pick one person, and they'll make their arguments to who's who, and they'll try to convince other people. And sometimes you'd be really surprised that like somebody will make like a super fucking compelling argument for the tiniest thing. And then it just used to be so good, man. So good.
It really
back
was.
in the
Like
day.
the guests that they had, that's another thing that's gone downhill. The guests they have now suck.
Do they?
Yeah, they're the worst.
Yeah, I made like a couple episodes after the thing, and then it was just shit, man.
It's
so
really
bad.
It's really bad.
It fell off instantly, man.
Yeah, it's like when dude, there was like some chick that was on there that was making the argument. They were like, how to fix. Basically, the question was how to fix Star Wars, and then her solution for it was more women writers. Like, that's the kind of shit you get now.
Right.
It's not like fun argument. It's like, who can be the most progressive? Like, who's the most SJW,
Right.
like, contestant on there to get brownie points with the host now? Because the host they have now is just a dick sucker. Like, if you follow him on Twitter, dude, he's just a dick sucker. And,
Worst type.
yeah, man, it just sucks anymore.
Yeah.
It was like,
Started off on a sad note, but man, back in the day, dude.
this shit was so good,
Like,
man.
you can go
back,
find them,
go
yeah.
back and listen to them archives.
Yeah,
They're good.
dude, they're amazing, man. There were some real good ones. Like some shit you'll be sitting listening and you'd be like, I'd be fighting for this right now and saying this and this motherfucker's wrong. You get into it, man.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, they had Seth Rogen on once, dude. They had like Kevin Smith was on episode.
Yeah.
A few episodes.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had some pretty big names. Now it's just garbage, man.
Bunch of poop, dude.
Bunch of poop.
Well, that's my number 10, man. The old episodes.
The old school movie fights.
Of the movie fights.
It's a solid one, man. At least they're getting some recognition.
Yeah, man.
So, my number 10. So, like, this is one of those lists where if we did it a year from now, that most likely my list would probably be different because, like, my mood's change. So, like, what I listen to more and more, like, changes. It's not always consistently the same. But this is one I used to listen to real big and heavy, and it's Jim Florentine's Comedy Metal Midgets.
Oh, nice.
So this is the dude, if you don't know who he is, he's a stand-up comedian who, like, traveled around with Andrew Dice Clay. So that right off the bat, it kind of gives you, like, what type of dude he is.
Right.
He's, like, just that real grungy, like, dirty New York type dude with a real deep voice. He did, he was special ed on Crank Yankers. That's where most people probably recognize him from. He did all the Crank
Or that
Yankers.
metal show, if you ever watched
Yeah,
that.
and then he did that metal show. He was one of the 3 guys on that, which was a good show. I enjoyed the fuck out of that show.
Was.
Yeah, and but yeah, his podcast, like, basically every week he just has like a different topic and just rants on it.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be more wide variety. Now it's getting more to like, I mean, the shit he rants about now is stuff I don't care about, like awful Facebook posts or like awful slang words and like awful quotes and like inspirational quotes and like that stuff's like not that interesting to me. But like every once in a while he'll sprinkle in some episodes. Like he's a big football and sports fan, so he'll do like a sports episode. Always listen to those. Like I remember when it was a couple years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago now. It was how long ago I started listening to him. But they had when all that Washington Redskins shit was going on about changing the name, and like Goodell came out and said like, all right, we're gonna, if anyone thinks that any name's offensive, like if one person does, we should look into it.
Right,
dude. Him and Don Jameson, the other guy from that metal show, did a whole episode to come up with reasons why every sports team's name is offensive, dude. And it was like the most brilliant hour and a half podcast I've ever listened to. They went through 32 teams and made compelling arguments to like as to why all the teams have offensive names.
That's beautiful, dude.
It was fucking amazing. It was like one of the greatest pieces of like
art.
Yeah, of art ever made. And so yeah, every once in a while he'll do something that's like on part of that, but
be a good one.
But I mean, if you like just somebody just ranting about how stupid people are on Facebook, like he's your guy. That shit just doesn't really interest me that much. I mean, it's all right, but not really
enough of that.
Yeah,
not on podcasts.
Yeah, not really my cup of tea. I mean, there's like other shit I'd rather occupy my time with, but I mean, it's good a podcast. I recommend it. Jim Florentine's Comedy Metal Midgets.
Metal Midgets, man.
That's what it's called.
Tough and short.
Yeah,
I like it.
And he's the one that kind of inspired me in a way. Like we closed the show to a song. He does that, and somebody asked him one time what is about copyright infringement, and he's like, I ain't really had a problem with it. I ain't really gonna worry about.
Yeah.
Well, he made a good point. He's like you always hear about that, but he's like, point me to one like article where a podcast was sued or got a cease and desist.
Right.
And he's like, it just
don't happen.
It's something that doesn't happen.
Right.
Like if you're, Marin or Rogan that's just getting millions and millions of downloads.
They'll take you off YouTube if you play a song. Yeah. Obviously.
But
that's different.
That's my number 10, man. Jim Florentine.
Well, you touched on football a little bit, dude. My number 9 is it's old Pat McAfee show, bro.
Yeah. The Barstool Sports.
Dude, you can't go wrong with that shit, bro.
It's a good one, man.
Not every episode is gold, but dude, some of the stories you get in there, bro.
No, his stories are good. One of the best stories is because so Pat McAfee show, it's a podcast and they play it on Barstool Sports Sirius channel. So I catch it sometimes if I'm driving.
Right.
I'll flip it over and listen. But dude, the best story he told was when he got drafted. So he thought...
yeah. With
so
his family and shit.
He was there with his family, and he thought he was going to go a lot higher than he did.
Yeah.
And so, dude, they were, like, just depressed.
They'd
like,
given up.
They'd given up, and they
started getting fucking
dirty
drunk.
Yeah, they were all fucked up. And then he got called from the Cowboys that they were going to draft him. Then all of a sudden he got excited. Then, like... one of the quick questions they ask him was like, what number do you want? And he's like, what's available? And they go, well, number 1. He's like, that's fine, I'll take it. So he just took the first number that was available, and that's why he's number 1.
That's a good one, dude.
Another good story he told, he's from Pittsburgh. And he told the story about where they were like running the fake play, and he thought he was like actually going to get to score a touchdown. And Troy Polamalu fucked him over.
Yeah, dude.
He's like, that motherfucker jumped over the line. Because it was one of those options where, like, if he read it, he could throw it,
right,
or he would just have to kick it or something. And he's like, he saw Polamalu coming over the line, so he just had to kick it, dude. He was so fucking heartbroken.
That's a good one. And then when he when he was kicking or he was back up for Vinatieri?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a good one. How intimidated he was of him every time. Like the dude barely spoke and shit. He just showed up, kicked a field goal, and walked away. Like, yeah, it's a good show, man. A lot of cool inside stories.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee's a cool guy, man.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He's a neat character.
Yeah, dude, Barstool's one of those ones where I like them, but I don't like when they venture off too much into non-sports related shit. Right. And that's kind of like what they're turning into.
Oh, they love to do it, bro.
It's like I'm listening. Like if I want to hear, thing is, dude, like as a Sirius XM subscriber, like if you want to listen to just like bullshit talk radio that's guaranteed going to make you laugh, dude, you just go to Stern.
Right.
Like I'm not going to Barstool Radio to like hear comedy. Like I want to hear like some witty humor sprinkled in with like primarily sports talk. And they're kind of getting away from it, and so I haven't listened a lot lately, but everyone wants to be the next Stern, man. That's the thing.
It's true, dude.
That's what, like, especially like I've listened to Stern for a long time, so it's kind of it's like blatantly obvious anymore when you hear people, and that's what they want to be.
Trying to copy it so much, yeah, man.
Dude, any like radio DJ that's left now is just a shitty rip off of Stern.
Carbon copy, bro.
He's literally like the only one, man. It's crazy. Like he's on like his own level.
Yeah, dude's a legend.
Yeah, no one even close. Like when he retires, dude, it's gonna be a sad day.
Right. Yeah, like Rogan's the next closest one, and he'd never do anything like that.
Dude, I wouldn't even put Rogan like in the same wheel.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's the next, and that's by a long shot. Like there's nobody.
There's another one that I would put closer. We might get to him later, but
John Tesh.
No.
Well, that's my number 9, dude. Old Patrick McAfee show.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's a good one, man. Dude, my number 9 is show off the old Smodco network. It's Kevin Smith's network. And it's Tell 'em Steve Dave.
The old comic book man.
Yeah, two of the guys from Comic Book Man, and then Brian Quinn from Impractical Jokers.
Yeah.
And like what's crazy is like these dudes did this show like before there was Comic Book Man and before there was Impractical Jokers, and they just so happened to like venture out and like get their own TV shows. It's so weird, but
it's pretty neat.
But yeah, dude, this is a good show, man. Like this is it's just like real silly, just them bullshit.
Yeah.
And, they play games. Like some of the games they do is real funny. They have one. It's called 1 True 3. Like basically, you gotta tell 3 stories. One of them's true.
The other 2 are fake.
Yeah, and dude, some of like Brian Johnson, he's like the bearded dude. Like if you know Comic Book Man,
right? The
bearded dude. That's always just ripping on people. And like, dude, on this show, he like rips into him so hard, dude. Like he does this crazy, like insanely racist impression of like Ming. It's like this is over the top Asian dude that they wouldn't let him do on the show, dude, because like he was always fucking with him on the show, but they would never let him do his impression on the show. But it's so fucking funny, dude.
Fucking Ming, man.
But dude, there was one where I forgot what it was. It was something like so crazy absurd that you're like, there's no way that's the true story. I was like, Brian Quinn was like, dude, he was like in bed with his girlfriend or something. And he like pointed a gun at her or something like while they were going at it, dude. So like no one picked it, dude. They're like, there's no fucking way.
That was the true one.
That was the true one, dude. It's fucking.
You know, he's a firefighter, isn't he?
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you get a lot of backstory to Brian Quinn, too. And so it's pretty cool. He's like a completely different dude than what he is on the show.
Right.
There's been like a couple guest appearances by like, dude, Sebastian Bach showing up a few times. He would buy comic books from the store, and that's where they would record.
Yeah.
And then the dude from Monster Magnet.
Okay.
And then Piggy D, the bass player for Rob Zombie. Mm-hmm. Like they're all buds with him, so like sometimes they just show up. But it's a good show, man.
It's a classic one, dude.
And it was cool. I got to meet those dudes. I got to meet Walter Flanagan, and they did that Cryptozoic Man graphic novel.
Yeah.
And so I bought it, and I mentioned to him that I was a fan of TESD. Tell him Steve Dave. And he was like, dude, you could tell I was just another transaction to him at first.
Right.
And then I told him that, dude, and he like lit up. And then he like drew, like, because he does the artwork, he drew the Cryptozoic Man in the book for me, dude.
Nice.
It was pretty sick, man. So I got that upstairs.
That's sick, dude.
And he signed it, dude. It was a pretty cool piece.
Yeah. Yeah, I looked up that series. Never read it. But,
I haven't read it either, but I have the book signed by Walter Flanagan with a piece of artwork in the middle.
There you go, dude.
It's pretty cool, though.
Original artwork.
So,
did you ever see the episode of Comic Book Men where Stan Lee works behind the counter with him?
yeah, he showed up in a bunch of episodes, man.
Dude, there was one where he was just like helping himself shit.
I think that was the first one he was in there, wasn't it? Because he showed up a bunch after that.
Anytime somebody tried to haggle the price, he'd be like, "Well, I wrote this. Like,
Yeah.
these are my characters.
Yeah.
Like, the $40 is a good deal, man."
Yeah.
Shit's funny, dude. R.I.P., bro.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Have
That's my number 9.
we had their death in threes yet, or has anybody been paying attention to that?
I don't know, man. I don't think.
Somebody needs to figure it out. That was your number 9. My number 8.
I guess the Texans owner just died.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true, man.
Oh.
My number
He's
8.
racist, though.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Apparently, a lot
That's
of them.
pretty well known.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a pretty well known thing.
Did you see the video of that fucking? This is like little league baseball coach. He's like yelling at the kids. Everybody comes up and he's like, "You did it again. They're gonna put an Amber Alert out on you, bro."
Oh yeah,
this is the funniest fucking
dude.
shit.
What? So there was a. So I know what you're talking about. It's like that younger coach, dude.
Yeah.
So, dude, what bummed me out so much about these? So the first video that was ever released of that dude was the one where he was talking about, like teaching the kids, like I'm not giving you participation trophies, like we're gonna go win, and it like went viral because everybody's like supporting it. But dude, they're all like staged as fuck. Dude.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they're funny. But I was like, man, I like at first I was hoping it was real, but I guess they're all staged.
Yeah,
because there's one
produced.
where he's like, "Did your dad never like?" He keeps walking up to the pitcher's mound. He's like, "Did your dad never play catch with you when you were a kid or something?" It's like, "Did you learn how to quit not play baseball?"
Dude, you'd be roasting them little kids.
Oh
man.
yeah,
shit's funny, bro.
yeah.
All right, my number 8, dude, is it's the Church of What's Happening Next.
Oh
And
yeah,
now,
with old
Joey Coco.
Joey
man.
Coco.
I like Coco, dude. And that group, I know they put a lot of people in that group of comedians.
Yeah, this like one. Yeah, it's like there's like 4 or 5 shows. It's just the same fucking people,
Right.
Man.
Yeah.
That's why I gotta space them out because like you start listening to them like back to back, it ends up just being the same
episode.
shit.
Yeah.
Same shit.
Yeah, I like Joey. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get old to me. That's the thing. Man. He
Yeah.
doesn't do the same shit. And his fucking stories, man. He's so goddamn funny, bro.
Yeah, his stories are pretty crazy.
He was the only funny degenerates one. I don't know if you watch that.
I watched his, yeah. I watched like a few minutes of the first 2 or the other 2, and I was just like, it's not for me.
Bro, when he was
It's
talking about that dude he fucking robbed, he like couldn't get him to friend him on Facebook. It's like, it's fucked up. You want to add me on Facebook?
Yeah.
So you fucking robbed? He was like, this motherfucker. He's like, I've been coming to the city for 20 years inviting him to shows and he never fucking showed up. You think how fucked up it is? So I fucking kidnapped him. No wonder he ain't showing up. It's so stupid, dude. Ugh.
Yeah, dude. What's funny is you always hear like these group of comedians talk about how great comedy is right now, but dude, there's like
It's a great time for podcasts.
I mean,
Like,
yeah,
that's
there's
it.
like the same amount of good specials that come out, dude.
Right, there's still
And it's
a lot
it's
of
still
shit.
by the greats, dude. It's
Yeah.
like Chappelle. Like he's the last great one that's come out.
Yeah. The new Rogan was fucking funny, but you know what you're getting. Like,
We'll talk about him later,
yeah.
but yeah, we'll talk about him later.
Oh, for
sure.
sure. Need to finish that fucking Adam Sandler, dude.
Yeah, it's good, man.
Did you finally finish her?
I did. The Farley tribute is what they say it is.
Beautiful.
It is. It's touching, man.
Let's do like Lunch Lady Land too.
No, I wish.
Dude, that was always the funniest to me, dude. And fucking doing the ballet and shit
in the background.
Fucking jumping around and spinning. Well, that's my number 8, dude. Old Joey Coco Diaz.
It's a good one. I've listened to it before. I mean, dude, some of these dudes need to like edit or cut their shit down, man. I'm not trying to get into like 4 hours of fucking.
Yeah, sometimes it gets crazy.
It gets insane, man.
Like I don't have Bert Kreischer on here. I don't have his show, man.
No,
I can't fucking do it, bro.
It depends on like who he's got. Like depends on the guest. Like dude, the Jim Florentine episode he did with him was fucking really good. But what you gotta do is you gotta go to like his Twitter page or something, or like a Reddit page. And then find the timestamp where he stops fucking rambling at the beginning, dude, because it's usually like 20 to 30 minutes before like the episode even really starts. It's just him bullshit.
Rambling, yeah.
It's too much.
Way too much, bro. What's your number 8?
And my number 8, man, is another Smodco podcast, but it's actually Kevin Smith one, dude. Hollywood Babylon.
It's a good one, dude.
It's a really good one, man. So you got Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman, and it's a live podcast that they record where it's like at the Improv, and like they have different segments. It's very formulaic. Like it's the same just about every show. It's like they do shout outs to people in the crowd that like come from long distances or whatever, and they email them. And like Ralph does impressions and shit, so they have songs where or he'll like roast them or whatever. Then people send them in emails of like different types of content. And then they got the main segment, which is Hollywood Headlines, which is where they basically just break down like movie news, like celebrity news, but it's in a very comedy like type of format where they're basically just making fun of shit.
Just cracking jokes the whole time.
Yeah, they have like another segment where it's No Thanks, We Already Got One, where they talk about remakes or reboots that's been announced and shit. Exquisite Acting's always a fun one, dude. They play like clips of just like exquisite acting, which is like just like people just being over the top in movies, dude. That one's always a funny one. Yeah, it's a good show, man. And they always close it with Liam Neeson's dick is so big, like they have just these jokes that people submitted. Like
it's all about his dick,
pretty much, and it's a good one. They do geek news. It's a good podcast, man. You can get your like movie news on it and then laugh at the same time, dude.
Did you see the meme that was like, I don't know who you are, but if you call me about my car's warranty, I will find you. I will kill you.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit's gotten out of hand, man.
Dude, what you need to do,
like once or twice a day,
dude,
bro.
what you need to do, man, is download a Robo Killer. It's an app, and then you gotta pay for it. It was like it's either like $3 a month, or you just pay for $20 for the year, and it like automatically blocks them, like where you don't even, because you know they just keep coming,
right?
Like you don't even get notified.
Don't even see it.
You just don't even see it,
dude. I need that.
Yeah, it's worth it, dude. Because I used to get them all the time. Now I don't get them at all. That shit works.
I definitely have to look into that, bro.
Yeah, Robo Killer for anyone out there that's tired of these calls, man.
Free fucking ad.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, where's my money?
Right.
Just give me free air of your shit.
Yeah, there you go.
But
yeah, Hollywood Babylon's a good one, dude.
It is a good one, man. I enjoy it.
Kevin Smith's always enjoyable.
He's always enjoyable, but he's another one of those ones where like if he gets out of control, man, it just goes on too long. Like that dude, that dude can talk. But what's nice about this show, it's a live podcast, so it can't ever be over 2 hours.
Right.
Because like they're doing a live show, and then you got Ralph Garman like co-hosting them. So it's my favorite of the Kevin Smith ones, I think.
I'd have to agree, I think.
I mean, Smodcast is good depending on like what's going on. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, dude, it's just like just the dude getting high and just talking shit that's not funny to somebody sober. But it's a good one, man.
Classic, dude.
You gotta show Kevin Smith some appreciation, dude. He's one that like inspired me to do this shit.
One of the OGs, man.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
He is one of like the OG like podcasters too.
And that's your number 8?
It's my number 8, dude. Hollywood Babylon.
It's a good one, dude. My number 7 is it's the Monday Morning Podcast.
Oh, Bill Burr.
Oh, Billiam Burr, dude.
Those are always good.
Yeah, I do. I really do enjoy some Bill Burr, man.
Yeah, he's fucking funny. He's the best when he's by himself too.
Oh yeah.
Like if he's got a guest, like, it's not as good as just him by himself.
Just
it's so
crazy.
fucking good, man.
He's a legend, man.
Like, and he's the only show where like him reading the ads are like are like entertaining as fuck.
Yeah. Super entertaining.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, you can't go wrong with it, dude.
No,
it's always good.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just that dude. It's a lot like the Jim Florentine. He just rants about different shit.
Right.
He's more like current event type stuff though. But yeah, I enjoy that one a lot too, man. That's a really good one.
Dude's a super talented man, bro.
Yeah.
It was the old Breaking Bad's finest.
Yeah.
It was so crazy he was in there too, bro.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of good shit.
Yeah. He was in Chappelle's Show a couple times, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was the one
World
of the
Series of Dice.
World Series of Dice, the guy that stuck his ring up his ass. And then he was one of the Sam Jackson guys.
He was at the table, yeah. Yeah, because Michael Rappaport's in a couple, too.
Yeah.
He's a fucking pop copy.
Yeah.
Listen, sister, I gotta go take a shit.
Dude, Michael Rappaport, so this dude, he's like just the world's biggest troll.
Right.
And he does a lot of like Stern like wrap-up show appearances, dude. And he claims, like, and I believe him too. I was looking at the charts that he's the most downloaded podcast. But dude, if you look at his shit, he's got like 2 stars, dude. Like people just shit on his stuff, like just leave him terrible reviews. Dude. Part of it has to do with he's in a lawsuit right now with Barstool.
Okay.
Because Barstool hired him, fucked him over apparently, and then just shit canned him, and he had to sue him to like get money that they owed him.
Dude.
And so I think a lot of it is like Barstool people firebombing his shit, which is fucked up. But that dude's funny, man. He's always funny because dude, he like plays fantasy football with like the dudes on the Stern Show,
right?
And there's one time the guy had like voicemails that he was getting from Rappaport. He was all fucked up, talking about how he's gonna fuck him in his ass after he beat him in fantasy football this week, dude. He just talks the ultimate
just
shit,
mad shit talking to.
He was gonna bend him over and fuck him in his ass, dude. He just talks crazy shit over fantasy football, man.
Yeah, that's all he does is talk shit. Yeah. He always be some video of him in a car, like talking about rap or something.
He's funny though, dude.
Yeah, he is, dude.
His show's not on my list, but it's good, man. I
didn't put him on here either, but
it's pretty good.
Yeah, man. Him and Bill Burr, dude. Bill Burr doesn't make the appearances like that. Mm-hmm. But dude, you want a good YouTube video? Just look up Bill Burr, like dealing with dumb people.
Oh, dude, look up Bill Burr Philadelphia, where they heckled him.
Oh, is it the one where the crowd heckles the crowd?
Yeah, well, the crowd, he's at like one of those big festivals where there's like 20 comedians, so he gets like 10 minutes. And then he just walks out and like they start heckling him. And so like he doesn't even start doing his material. He's like, I'm just going to stand up here and talk about how much I hate all of you. And then he's like counting down the minutes and he's like, your city sucks so fucking bad y'all worship like a fake athlete that's not even real.
About Rocky.
And then he's like talking about that he hopes they all get cancer and crash on their way home, dude. It's brutal. He does that for 10 minutes.
Dude. That's that one bit he's got where he talks about I guess he brought a black chick home and his grandma was racist. He used the N-word.
His wife's black. It's probably her.
Yeah, well, that's what he would like use the N-word in the joke, like as an example. Like somebody in the table started yelling at him, and then like this other table was yelling at that table to shut the fuck up. Like one table was standing up for Bill. While
dude, he was telling. He told this funny story one time when his wife was like in labor, giving birth to their daughter. Mm-hmm. And dude, he was like all flustered, and he was just like annoying her and pissing her off because he kept like asking if she was okay, like if he needed to do anything.
Right.
And she told him like to go. He was gonna go home and get. She asked for like a few things, like a coat or something else, and he like kept forgetting because he was just all fucked up. And he was like just annoyed her, and finally she goes, "If you don't shut the fuck up and get out of here, I'm gonna push this thing out and throw it at you."
The greatest threat of all time.
Oh, dude, it was fun. It was funny.
Legendary, bro. That's hilarious, man.
So that's your number 7.
It's my number 7, dude.
So my number 7, dude, when we're talking about somebody that's probably close, as close as you're going to get to like a Stern type format, which is why I enjoy the show. It's the Adam Carolla show. So what I like about his show is it's 4 hours, but he breaks it up into 2 parts. Mm-hmm. And then, like, if you just want to hear the interview, like, you just go straight to the second part, and it's beautiful. Right when it kicks in, it's just right there on the interview, like in the middle of the show. So you get the interview and then the news segment. And that's the thing. It's formatted very similar to, like, the Howard Stern show, where you got, like, you know, the opening hour or whatever, where they just talk about whatever. Then you have a guest or whatever, and then you do a news segment. And that dude, he's like, we're talking about Kevin Smith, like, he's the OG. Like, this is the dude that started the whole, like, podcasting shit. Was Adam Carolla. Because he was in radio forever, and then he got fired for, I don't remember what, it was something stupid, but. So then that's when he went to internet radio, which later became podcasting. But, yeah, it was him and Kevin Smith. They were, like, the first two that really did it and like took off with it. And so
legends.
Yeah, I think Adam Carolla right now, like I think has like the most downloads of all time or something, like going all the way back.
Right, in history.
So yeah.
Yeah, I've never really listened to his show, man.
It's good, man. I really enjoy it because he has like interesting guests on and stuff, and dude like Rob Riggle like comes in and does like news segments all the time with him, which is he's funny as fuck. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really enjoy the Adam Carolla show, dude. It's a good one, man. Talks about cars a lot because he's like races all the time and stuff.
Right.
And he has like some epic rants. It's a good one, dude. It's a good show. I enjoy Adam Carolla.
Yeah, he's a funny dude, man.
Yeah,
he's a real funny guy.
Yeah, he's a smart dude too. But that's my number 7, dude. The Adam Carolla show.
That's a good one, bro. Number 6, then, for me, it is 30 for 30, man.
Yeah.
ESPN podcast series, dude.
Yeah, they're good.
Every one of those has been so enjoyable for me, man. Like, you just learn so much.
They're solid. I haven't listened to them in a long time, but the last one I listened to was about the Yankees suck shirts.
Yeah, I remember you told me about that one.
Yeah, that was a really good one, man. I learned so much shit. It was crazy to learn all that stuff about like those dudes made like $1 million cash.
Yeah,
like
dude.
Tax free.
Dude, fucking wild.
Selling the shirts.
Yeah, the best one, my favorite one I ever listened to, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was a boxer, and like he had a heavyweight fight in prison. Like, while he was in jail, dude.
Damn.
And it was just such a good fucking story of how, like, they had to get everything in with the warden, and they fucking checked every fucking cord and case and this and that for everything, like, because they were in jail, of course, and all this shit. And it's just so interesting, man. Like, you get such a story about sports that you never knew, you know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, pick any episode of that shit.
Yeah.
You'll get some behind-the-scenes thing, and it'll be so damn knowledgeable and just very entertaining, man.
Dude, what's so weird about like 30 for 30s and then a lot of documentaries in general is if it's like like I know I'm gonna enjoy it if once I start listening. Mm-hmm. But like if the topic just doesn't grab my attention,
you don't want to just get in.
Yeah, I don't want to get into it.
Right.
Even though I know I'm gonna enjoy it, it's just this weird like psychological thing that I have, I guess.
That makes sense, dude.
Because there's like the man, what's that? The Man on Wire or whatever, where the guy walks over the.
Oh yeah.
It's like something I don't give a fuck about, but everyone talks about it. It's like the greatest documentary ever made.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it is, dude. It's just like I have no interest
whatsoever.
But I know if I watch it, it's gonna be like, holy shit! Why didn't I watch this?
Right.
And it's amazing.
That's what I like about the sports ones. Like I mean, if you like sports, it's usually something. All right, I can listen to this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's usually enough to get you there.
Yeah, I mean, even the 30 for 30s on ESPN were good. It's like the last good thing about ESPN, dude.
Yeah.
Is their 30 for 30s. They were real good back in the day.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Like,
Bad Boys of Basketball.
yeah, oh, fuck yeah, dude. That was a really good one.
Yeah, bro.
The 2004 Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
That was a really good one. That whole thing's so crazy, man. Like, people that don't know baseball, like they thought that was the World Series, like Boston versus the Yankees, but that was just the championship,
Right.
Like everyone forgot about the actual World Series
That year. Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That was so crazy.
Nobody cared.
Yeah, well, they played the Mariners, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it was Mariners.
Fuck them. Fuck them in their ass. But that's my number 6, dude.
It's your number 6, huh?
30 for 30.
Yeah, my number 6 is I mean, I'm sure you got this one on there somewhere.
On here.
I don't know where you got it, but it's Your Mom's House, man. Number 6.
It's my number 5, bro.
Dude, now this show, like, I still enjoy the fuck out of it. Couldn't give a fuck less when there's guests, though.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Like, this show's so much better when it's just them.
And you want to talk about a show where you got to find where they're done rambling. You know, I've expressed this to you before, dude. I hate these motherfuckers' ads more than anybody's.
One thing, though, is, like, they're consistent. You skip into 10 minutes in, it's
good.
like you're always golden.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, don't even fuck with it. Just you hit it, and immediately scroll over 10 minutes, and you're good
to go.
You're good to go.
For sure.
So that's one thing I can at least appreciate is, like, their ads are the same length just about all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Give or take a minute or so, but yeah. So it's not really a deal breaker for me.
No, skip it right away.
That 10
yeah,
minutes,
and I do. I
yeah.
got them on my list, man.
But yeah, dude, when it's just them by themselves, it's so much better, man.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is, dude, like, she's fucking funny.
Yeah, she is.
But
dude.
her fucking stand-up sucks.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either, man.
This sucks, dude. It's really bad.
Man, she's good just sitting there talking shit.
Yeah, like, she was really good on Rogan, man. I listened to that whole thing. That was a good-ass episode. But
yeah, when we get into Rogan, we'll talk about the super clips people do. With the one where he wants to steal Tom Segura's wife, dude. Dude, that shit's so fucking funny, man.
That's it. But yeah, man, just dude, all the, like, inside jokes that you get with the show, like, I don't think there's a show with more inside than this one.
Jeans.
Yeah, Jeans and
FGT RTD.
Yeah. Dude, the best was, like, somebody tried to name their horse that on Red Dead, and like,
it wouldn't let it.
Yeah, it wouldn't let them.
Yeah, and this other people were trying to do their license plate in Forza. This let me say it was like for the girls that ride or something.
Oh, dude, there was all people
for
were
the
just
girls that ride to death. Or
dude,
something.
One of the funniest things they've been doing recently, you know, like the whole water champ thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a husband and wife. I guess we should explain to people what the show is. It's just a husband and wife that record a podcast and play internet clips, and it's mostly toilet humor.
Usually, yeah.
But it's real funny and childish, and it makes everyone envy that their relationship was the same as Tom and Christina's.
Yeah, man.
But they went through this whole thing where their competition was like who drinks the most water, and so it was like they proclaimed each other as the water champ. Like
right.
Tom said he was definitely the water champ. Well, dude, some of the listeners like took like news footage and like chopped it up. Whereas, like, we had breaking news, and it was like, they would all her name is Christina Pazitsky,
right?
And they would always like fuck her name up. It was like breaking news: Christina Pazzini is like disqualified from the water champ competition for cheating and all this. Dude, it was fucking funny,
dude.
Christina Pazzini.
Try it out,
dude. Now they call Tom. What do they call him? Todd. Like, that's his name. They call him Todd.
Fucking piss on me, beat me.
Yeah, it's
all inside jokes,
depending on the guest, it's good. But if it's another comedian, usually I don't listen. But Like, dude, they had Tom Green on there, and I was like, I gotta listen to this.
of
Tom
course.
Green's like one of my fucking favorites.
Legend, dude.
He's another dude that was like real big in the podcasting stuff. And I don't know if he really does it anymore, but he used to do a lot of it.
Yeah.
But that one was real good because it was like more of an interview than like, oh, let's talk to this fucking idiot comedian that's got
just make more jokes alongside. Yeah,
that's got another special on Netflix, so we can talk about how great his special is, which we all know is
yeah.
True. But
yeah,
that was a good one though.
It's a good fucking show.
So usually the ones with Bert Kreischer are pretty good because like a lot of the inside jokes have to do with involve him, so those are usually all right. But yeah, if it's somebody that I don't know or somebody that's just way out there from what that is,
right?
I don't give a fuck.
Leave her alone.
Yeah,
I'm with it, dude.
So
I agree, man. That was your number 6.
That was my number 6.
My number 5. So.
Well, dude, my number 5, I know we're going to end up punting, but it's JRE.
Yeah, I have his number 2. We'll give it the old punt.
All right.
So I guess we'll go to...
Your number 4.
My number 4, which is a little show called Getting Dug with High, man. And I know this is a good YouTube one, but I like to listen to it more.
Do you?
It's just people smoking weed. I mean, what are you going to watch that you haven't seen before?
So I've listened to quite a few of these. I just wish the sound quality was better. The sound quality sucks.
In the basement, as they call it. Yeah, they are just kind of in the basement. Yeah, I don't know what the excuse for that is at all.
Yeah, it's like, throw some foam up on the wall or something. It's so echoey.
Do something, yeah. I agree, man. They could definitely fix that into things.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's a lot of great episodes out there. I mean, you just Google anybody you want to see get high.
The Trailer Park Boys one was real good.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
They've been on there a couple times, man.
Yeah.
The, what's his, Eric Andre's funny.
Yeah.
Like, he needs a hoodie. Like, the way he, wears the, producer's hoodie the whole time.
Dude, that's a dude that needs a podcast, I feel like. Eric Andre and Hannibal Buress, dude, that'd be fucking legendary.
Those fucking dudes, man.
Those dudes are fucking funny. Dude, that
whack.
That whole thing they did where they were on each other's tenders, dude.
Oh, bro.
That shit was hilarious.
Didn't he get Hannibal's Tinder and he just immediately was like, I'm a famous comedian on Comedy Central. I have my own TV show. I want to come have sex. It's so stupid.
And then the chick's sitting on her car, is like, why are you farting on that car?
A funny one is Jack Black. Because he can't handle his weed, dude. He gets so paranoid and loses his shit. Bro, it's fucking funny, man. He'll make Doug uncomfortable. But yeah, there's a lot of good ones, man. They got a couple segments they'll do. Excuse me. They'll do high history. It's the first time you ever smoked. And everybody's is the fucking same, of course, but every once in a while there'll be a cool one. Ron White was on one episode.
Oh, really?
And he had Josh Blue with him, the comedian with cerebral palsy, because he was opening with him, dude. And those two were telling fucking stories of the tour bus, and Ron White was fucking, the first time he heard Josh was gonna roll a joint for him, he was freaking out and shit. There's a lot of fucking funny ones, man, but you know what you're getting. You said, you could increase the sound quality.
Yeah.
But that's my number 4, man.
It's a good one, dude.
Getting dug with high.
Dude, my number 4 is one that I've recently discovered, man, but it's quickly become a favorite. It's real good now because I'm just going back through their whole catalog. But I told you about them, dude. Last podcast on the left.
Yeah, dude, you've been talking about them a lot lately.
Dude, so it's a true crime, which I probably immediately turn people off because you either like true crime or you don't.
Right.
But these fucking dude, it's super lighthearted though. It's not they're trying to be super serious. And the one guy, Henry Zabrowski, and then Ben Kissel, they're professional comedians. Henry Zabrowski was in Wolf of Wall Street. He was one of the side characters that started at the penny stock place with him.
Okay.
He had the red beard, little short dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him. And then Ben Kissel, you would probably recognize him if you heard him. He's got a real distinctive deep voice, but he's the 6'7" just giant fucking dude.
Yeah.
But, dude, they're hilarious, man. And basically, like, each show, sometimes if it's real long, they'll break it into like 2 or 3 parts. But like recently they did the West Memphis 3, which was fucking interesting, dude. I knew like the name was familiar, but I didn't really know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was like these dudes that were like wrongly convicted of murdering like 3 kids in West Memphis, Arkansas. And then he did the Iceman, Richard Kuklinski, like the Hitman.
Saw that movie with General Zod.
Oh yeah, dude, they said they fucking hated that movie. They fucked it up so hard because they like tried to make him like a sympathetic character.
Right.
I watched it too, but not knowing
He's
any.
supposed to be just like the most cold-blooded motherfucker of all time.
Yeah, and that's what this whole thing was about. But so there's Henry Zabrowski and Ben Kissel and then Marcus Parks. He's like the one serious dude.
Okay.
He's like the researcher guy, and he's the one that like basically tells the story, and then the other 2 dudes just react to it and fucking make jokes. And then Henry Zabrowski's like real good at doing like impressions and shit.
Uh-huh.
And Richard Kuklinski was a Polak. And so, dude, he was like doing all kind of like Polak impressions, dude, and just fucking making fun of them.
Dude.
They did like the Jeffrey Dahmer episode, and he does like this hilarious fucking like Midwest, like Minnesota, Wisconsin accent, dude. Just fucking talking shit. It's funny, man. It's crazy. It's like, it's true crime, and it's really about like horrific shit.
Right.
But it's like, dude, seriously, one of the funniest shows. Like, it's one of the few that like have me laughing out loud.
Right.
Like, by myself, dude. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, you've been speaking very highly of it lately.
Yeah,
man.
I really recommend it, man. You gotta check it out, dude. Like I said, even if you're not into true crime, like, these dudes are fucking funny.
It's a cool title, too, man.
Yeah, Last Podcast on the Left.
Yeah, I like it.
It's good, dude.
It's fancy.
Yeah. Strong recommend for me.
It's a pinkies up affair.
Yeah, that's my number 4.
I like it, man. My number 3 is another Doug Benson, man. But
Well,
it's
Doug Loves Movies.
dude. I fucking love this show, dude.
Dude, it's fun, man. It's always fun.
Dude, it's always fun. Like, if you can imagine, he hosts his own game show, and they get like 3 or 4 comedians, and every once in a while, like a person from the audience will get to play.
Well, dude, what's cool about it? Remember the movie game that we used to play in high school?
Oh yeah, dude.
He like plays a variation of
Yeah.
it, and it's what game is that? What do they call it? They don't do it very often.
Where they just keep it going.
Yeah, so the way we had this movie game where like we'd play in high school, where you would name an actor,
Right.
or you name a movie.
Either or.
It's
It's like if I said Sam Jackson,
then
you'd have to name a movie.
Yeah, I'd have to name a movie that he was in.
So
and
pick
then
a movie.
Sam Jackson. So you say Sam
I'll
Jackson.
say Pulp Fiction.
Okay, Pulp Fiction. Then
So then you got to name an actor or actress from
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction.
like John Travolta.
Right. And then I could say Urban Cowboy. And like it would just go from there.
You're right. And then until they can't go anymore, and then they're out.
Always pull out Pathfinder, bro.
Dude, Pathfinder with Carl Urban and Patch Adams, Rob Williams. Those were the 2 finishers.
Just always do. Always finish.
And like it always ended up there somehow, dude. Like I don't know how we'd always end up on Carl Urban.
The fucking Pathfinder, dude.
Because no one's in that fucking movie.
What a horrible movie, too.
What was funny was he had a buddy that would play it. And he like researched like who the fuck was in these movies. So when we'd play it, he would like know.
Stumped his ass.
Yeah.
Hurt his feelings. Yeah, they do a lot of good ones. Or they'll do like the IMDb game.
Yeah.
Like I'll give you an actor and you got to list the top 3 in their IMDb.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Yeah, The Last Man Standing's always a good one.
Yeah.
Where you just list movies from that actor.
Uh-huh.
But lately he's been doing. Have you listened lately?
No, not lately.
Lately he, I guess one of the theaters in San Diego has this like bald eagle painted behind it, and they all call it Eddie the Eagle. So he got Brian Posehn to voice Eddie the Eagle for
Brian
him.
Posehn's always funny on there.
Dude, but like he's always on there now all the time. So like they'll be somewhere else and they'll be like Eddie the Eagle called in, and it's like a painting on a wall in one club in San Diego.
Dude.
And it's just Brian Posehn talking shit as an eagle, dude. It's fucking funny, man.
Dude. Brian Posehn's fucking funny.
Yeah.
I wish he had his own podcast, which he does, but it's called Nerd Poker, and it's literally them playing like Dungeons and Dragons. So you're just listening to them play,
Right.
and like it's just continue on from like the last one, dude. It's like just like the most pointless podcast I've ever heard of. Because, like, if you haven't been following it for who knows how many episodes, like, you don't really know.
Right, you're not in the story.
Yeah, dude, it's too fucking.
You don't know the quest, man.
No, I don't understand that shit to begin with.
I had an idea. I got to finish piecing it together, but you got to do, like, you got to take the kids from Stranger Things, and you got to kind of put them in a Dateline scenario, but you still got to call it Stranger Things, like, because of strangers. Yeah. You got to work out the kinks, but there's an idea to be had in there, dude. It hit me at work the other day.
Like a parody?
Right, yeah. Like a SNL skit. You just got to work it out. But the joke is it's still called Stranger Things.
Dude, what was the other parody that you had? You think of a bit not too long ago.
I can't remember.
I don't know, dude. We like have our own like our own shows. The Guy Ferrari parody.
Guy Ferrari. High class. The Guy Fieri. Dude, that's fucking fun. But that's my number 3, man.
That's your number 3.
Old DLM. Doug loves the movies.
So this is my sports show, and this Bill Simmons BS podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, dude. It's like, so he does one on Monday, or he usually drops a Sunday night, and they recap like what happened in the NFL.
Okay.
And then his Thursday show's the NBA show. And then like he'll do MLB ones. So like each week he'll have like different episodes that focuses on one sport.
Oh, that's cool.
So it is cool because like it's not all where they jump back and forth between.
Cut out a lot of bullshit.
Right. It's just like you want a whole NFL episode. Well, here it is. And then he has cousin Sal from Jimmy Kimmel Live. And he's like the guest on. And they basically do guess the line. So like it's a little game they play. Well, they'll talk about each game that happens, and then like they have to guess what the Vegas odds are.
Okay,
it's kind of a little cool dynamic they do, but yeah, I mean it's just simple. They break it down, and then on Thursday, the NBA show, they break it up into halves, and he'll do like interviews and shit with people.
Okay,
but the thing is, this dude's a real journalist, so he's like a good ass interviewer. It's not just bullshit where he has somebody in and they're just talking about nonsense. Like, this dude knows what he's doing.
It's important, dude.
Yeah, because, like, a lot of people get guests and they have no business, like, interviewing somebody.
Right.
But, no, this dude's, like, a real journalist. Like, he wrote for ESPN for years. And, like, he's a legit dude. And, like, dude, he had Andy Samberg on not too long ago. It was a good-ass interview. He had Nathan Fielder from Nathan For You on, dude. That was a good-ass one.
Legend, dude.
Like, he had Kevin Durant on, dude. That was a really good one.
Kevin the Snake Durant.
Dude, that's the thing. He ain't just a fucking dude that's like, oh, I'm thrilled to have this dude here. He's like, he asked some of the tough questions, man. Like, asked him, like, what it was like leaving OKC and going and joining like a superstar team and shit. Dude. Like, he asked all the questions you wanted him to.
That's good.
So that's the thing with a lot of podcast interviewers, man. It's just like they just have them there and they don't ask them anything you want to hear from them.
Right.
Like, this dude's the opposite. Like, he knows what he's doing.
Right. You want to kind of get to know the person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that.
There's an art to doing a good interview. So.
Yeah, bro.
That's my number 3, man. Bill Simmons BS podcast.
Yeah, man. Well, that's what you said, dude. My number 2, Rogan, man. That dude can interview good too, bro.
Yeah, he's hit or miss, but
yeah, sometimes he's real fucking weird.
Yeah, see, sometimes like
I hate when he just keeps bringing it back on himself.
Yeah,
like I hate when like they'll talk about something and he just keeps like throwing facts he knows. You know what I mean? But like this Jake the Snake one, dude, it's like the greatest episode ever. Yeah, that's what's weird.
Dude, the Dale Earnhardt Jr. one,
dude, it was such a good fucking episode, bro.
Then there's sometimes when he's like interviewing people and he's almost like kind of a dickhead to them.
Oh yeah,
I don't get it. And then there's like, dude, he had Elon Musk, and it was boring as fuck. Like, he didn't ask him anything. It was like he was like intimidated by him or something.
Yeah,
like.
Elon was very different too.
See, yeah,
I tried to warn people about artificial intelligence.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, man. Like he's gotten to the point where it's like I still love the fuck out of that show, but it depends on who his guest is, man. If I see like a psychiatrist or a dietitian,
stay away, dude.
Stay the fuck away, man.
I love
it'll bore you.
All the shows with fighters or like trainers are really good. Like you had McGregor striking coach on the one day. He's had a couple just fighters and stuff. He had Dillashaw and his coach on one day, and that's really, really good. The Roseanne Barr episode, dude, that was good as fuck.
Yeah.
It's a lot of good ones, man. But yeah, Ted the Nuge. That was a great one.
Ted Nugent was real good.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. I mean, it's the JRE, man.
Yeah.
You listen to it or you don't.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I was thinking this too, man. Like, nothing against Joe Rogan. I think the reason, like, we like the show so much is just because he's at such a status, he's able to get these cool guests.
Maybe, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not really that he's that great. It's just like he just gets cool people.
He's got good people on.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I can understand that. And he was like you had mentioned earlier, the group of people who get all the same guests. They start at Rogan.
They start at Rogan and then they funnel down. Yeah, especially the comedians.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like, if I hear, like, for example, like,
The 1 week, dude, I remember for sure, Chris D'Elia
he was on everything.
5 or 6,
yeah,
dude.
He was on everything. And it's like, I only need to hear the dude once. He's just going to say the same
Bert
shit.
Kreischer the same way. He'll do everybody in the same week.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Fuck nah.
Dude, one thing about Stern is like he's pretty outspoken against like podcasts.
Is he?
And
well,
that's
I'm
like,
sure, yeah.
and that's like one of his big critiques is like they just have the same fucking people on all the time. And it's like, I mean, I disagree with you, but you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you're not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing with him, dude. Is see what's crazy is like Stern is like the JRE of like just the entertainment business as a whole.
Right. Everything.
Like he got Jonah Hill like a few weeks ago, and like he was the first interview that Jonah Hill did, and then he's doing all this other shit after. So, it's crazy, man. Just the status of do that. Like, he had Scarlett Johansson on.
Yeah. Dude, I'd love to have just fucking high level assholes like that come on.
And then that's the best part about Stern, man, is like that dude's not afraid to like he asks the questions that everyone wants to hear.
Yeah, dude.
So
that's my number 2, man.
Number 2, JRE.
Train by day, podcast by night.
So my number 1 and 2 were just ones that I had to put as 1 and 2 by default because they're the only 2 that I like pay money to. So my number 2, dude, is I've talked about these guys before too. Is Bald Move.
Yeah.
And I like couldn't narrow it down to one of their podcasts. I just put like their whole network as a whole. Because what they do is like. They do like companion shows to like TV shows. Like they have a Daredevil one.
Okay.
That I'm super pumped about because like I'm about to start that season 3.
Fucking great, bro.
And so yeah, like after every episode or whenever I get done, or in between, like the next day at work, dude, I can listen to their breakdown of it. And dude, they break down like all the Easter eggs, like all the hidden shit, because they watch it like 3 or 4 times before they podcast about it. So it's not like, you know, they're coming out recording.
They're definitely
fresh.
Prepared.
They're like prepared, dude, and talk about like their predictions and stuff. Their Stranger Things coverage was really fucking good.
Yeah, I know you always spoke real highly about that.
Their Game of Thrones one is like outstanding. Like this dude the one guy just wrote a book. It's called Gods of Thrones. Basically, he wrote this book with this other guy about like the religion behind Game of Thrones, dude.
That's crazy.
It is nuts. So like this dude knows his shit.
Yeah, for sure.
And what's cool about it, dude, is like I'm not really one of those people that has to binge shit. But like listening to this show like makes me want to binge stuff because it's like, well, if I watch 2 episodes. Then that's 2 episodes of the podcast I can listen to tomorrow.
I agree too, man. I'm not really a binger as well. Like, I won't spend like a whole Saturday watching a whole fucking.
Dude.
If it's something great, like if it's Daredevil and I'm really fucking bit into it 100%, maybe. But like even other shows, man, like I'd rather maybe watch 2 or 3 episodes a night. Like I'll watch this when I eat. We'll watch one after.
Yeah,
maybe we'll catch a third if we like it.
1 or 2. Because I feel like, dude, once you start, you binge like a full day, it all blends together. It is nice to like 2 or 3 here and there, and then you remember like, all right, this episode was that.
Don't oversaturate this shit.
Yeah, like you remember by episode what happened.
Right.
And that's why like I still enjoy the weekly format. Like, because I did have to binge on Game of Thrones to catch up for this last season a couple years ago. And, dude, I do enjoy watching that show on a Sunday and then having to wait. Because then, like, you get their podcast, and they would do 2 of them. They'll do, like, a Tuesday. Well, they do an instant take, which is, like, a half hour.
Right.
Like, their thoughts immediately after that. Then they do their Tuesday show, which is, like, a full cast about like breaking down the episodes scene by scene, and then Friday they would do what they would call a spoiler podcast because the dude like read all the books,
right?
So like they theorize
where it's going
based off what they know on the books, and it's super interesting. But dude, then they do. So I signed up for their club, which is only like $5 a month or something, so you get like all their premium shit. And dude, they're like doing this whole series now where they're going through like all Nick Cage's movies, dude, like all of them starting from like the beginning all the way. So that's been really good. They do this, it's called just Lunch with Jim and Aaron, because it's Jim and then dude's named Aaron, but he goes by Aaron Hubbard. And it's just lunch, and you can like send them questions through the forum on their website.
Yeah,
because they were like computer like engineers and coders, I think. One of them was an engineer and the other one was a coder. So like their website's fucking tip top because they know what they're doing.
Right.
And so they have like their own forum and stuff, and you can like submit questions and they talk about it and shit. Just whatever. It's pretty interesting, man.
Huh.
Pretty good dudes. They're like it's nice to hear from like an everyman instead of a celebrity sometimes.
I agree, man.
So
I'm with that.
That's why they're up so high, man.
Number 2.
They feel relatable. They're just like regular dudes.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's important, dude.
So, Bald Move. I'd check them out. They have a podcast for just about any show you can think of.
Right.
I mean, their Breaking Bad was where I got started with them. And that was like excellent, dude.
Changed it all.
I binged that shit. Like, I watched the whole series again not that long ago, and I'd listen to their show again, bro.
Right.
Like, that's how good it was. Their shit's on par with Breaking Bad. Yeah.
Yeah, man. My number 1 is this past weekend, dude.
Yeah.
Old Theo, man.
I figured it would be.
Fucking love this show, dude. 'Cause he does 2 episodes a week.
Yeah.
And he almost got caught quick. Because his Monday's like just his show. Right?
Yeah, that's the one I like when it's just him. You
call in
man.
the hotline and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
If Thursday show's getting a lot better. Like when it first started, like he was one of the ones that had Chris D'Elia in the big run. Like he was getting all those people. But then now it's getting a little better. Like now he's starting to get some fighters on. Like he had fucking Michael Bisping. He had Uriah Faber on the other week. This past week he's had Donnell Rollins. I haven't listened to it yet. But, yeah, dude, you're talking about an everyman, dude.
Yeah.
That guy, dude, just get on the fucking microphone and just start talking shit, man.
Yeah.
This was
his
all
solo
gold,
shit was always the best, man.
Dude, it's outstanding.
He was
bro.
like Burr. Like a dude can just talk by himself. Just the way he phrases stuff.
Dude, his vocabulary is out of control.
Yeah. That's when I like him, man, when he's all by himself.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You can call the hotline. I've been on a couple episodes.
Yeah.
Here and there. Yeah, the last one he was doing his first tour in China. And like his thing was like not masturbating and shit. And so I tried to call him, but he didn't get it till after he come back.
Oh shit!
Like I told him, like you probably want to rub one out in the States because you get over there, like get horny, you fucking find yourself in trouble real quick or some shit. Like, and it was funny. He played it on there, and like he'll just reply and talk shit and stuff. Because the one I called, I said it's from West Virginia, the best Virginia. He's like, I don't know if it's the best Virginia. He's like, you definitely lead in obese people. Like,
yeah,
this is what it was.
I remember that shit. I watched it on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, his facial reaction when you said that, he was talking about he played Huntington or something.
It's so funny, dude.
The devil's empanada. Dude.
Dude. You seen that fucking... Did you send me that meme that said, who's the real devil's lettuce now?
Yeah.
It's like romaine instead of weed. It's so stupid. Dude. Yeah, dude, they're fucking... Theo's good on any show, man. I guess he's getting ready to do a show with Brendan Schaub's, the King and the Sting or something that. I'm not a Brendan Schaub fan.
No.
He just looks like he needs a shower.
Dude, he's one of the dudes I know that sucks, like, at comedy because, like, the same fucking people say that he's great at it.
Right.
Dude, that was the only bad part about Rogan and with Christina Pazitsky was because he was talking about, like, how great her Degenerates was, dude, and it was so bad, man.
It's rough, dude.
It was so bad. Not to, like, go back to Rogan, but what I was thinking earlier when I was about his stand-up is I feel like he thinks he's better than he is.
You think so?
I think so. I think he does, man. Like, he's not even close to, like... Because, like, right now, he's, like, painted as just one of the all-time greats.
He's not for stand-up.
He's not even close, dude.
Not in stand-up, huh?
Fuck no.
No. He's funny, but... No, he's not. You wouldn't make top 10 if you really broke it down. Like,
well, that's the thing. We did top 10 stand-ups. I think we both had them.
Did
I think we did.
I
think we did. But I think we did mention that Jerry had a lot of influence on
Yeah,
that.
man. That's what he's best at, for sure. That and commentating fights.
Yeah, he's good at that, for sure.
Yeah. Just gets to screaming, man. That's what I was thinking.
Joe Ice Cream, the punchline road.
Yeah, when I was watching the UFC fights this morning, I was like, dude, you probably know that, like, you've really made it. Like, it's probably a huge thing in the UFC. Like, if you've got a badass fucking Rogan soundbite, like, oh my god, like, if it's yours though, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, that's probably like a big milestone in UFC because you could use it for every promotion ever. Any fucking UFC fight ever, it starts out with a video of Joe Rogan like, this is probably the biggest fight in UFC history.
Yeah,
like, every single. Yeah,
every
well,
fight.
yeah, it's because they're counting numbers from 1 to 100.
Yeah,
we're at like 230 now.
Dude, Ari Shafir, he on his podcast, which is pretty good, but it's another one of those ones where
he's one of the group. Yeah,
editing it. Well, not even that. He'll have, like, random people you never... Because he's in New York.
Right, yeah,
so that's
true.
the thing. Like, you'll get, like, Duncan Trussell on.
I like him. He's funny.
Yeah, because he's in New York now, too. So it's Skeptic Tank. His show's good. I recommend it. Not a top 10er, but... Because it's, like, so far few between that you actually listen to. But he, like, exposed Rogan as, like... You know, when people ask who he thinks is going to win the fight and he's got to stay neutral.
Right.
He, like, went through this whole thing and, like, broke it down. He's like, when he says this and this, that means he thinks that the other dude's going to win. It's fucking funny. And it's true, dude. He's like, I was listening to him talk about the Khabib and McGregor, and like, everyone asked him what he thought. He's like, I knew he thought Khabib was going to fucking win by the way he was talking. Like, he's
the way he's got to say shit.
Yeah, he just exposed him, dude.
Dude, that's fucking funny, man. Dude. What's the next big one? I don't know if it's a John Jones
Cyborg and
yeah, it's the
Nunes.
same night, dude.
Yeah.
That's
the next month.
Yeah.
That will be a good one. As long as John Jones don't fuck up like the night before and
he won't
get disqualified.
Well, USADA got a new rule. They're not releasing anything until after the fact now.
Really?
Yeah. Because like you can really get out like for trace amounts of bullshit. You know what I mean? And like they'll say something before a fight and everything goes crazy in fucking 24 hours.
Oh, like 200. It was like the night before and dude got disqualified.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Now at least they'll let them fucking fight. Talk about it later.
Just let them be roided up, dude. Fuck it. If they're both roided up, what's cheating?
Have 2 leagues, bro. Yeah.
How's that cheating?
Yeah, dude.
Let Cormier shoot out and fight Lesnar, dude.
The only person complaining is GSP.
Yeah.
He was all mad, dude. You listen to his Rogan episode, dude? Like, he's so pissed off about people juicing.
Man.
He's like, it's
He's
not
a purist,
right.
dude.
Yeah, dude.
That's why he's one of the greatest of all time.
Dude, you know he's like a fighter because of his high school bully? Like,
no.
Yeah, like he used to get bullied so much, like he went into fighting.
Damn.
Like it was all because of one fucking kid. Like
It's crazy.
he's the greatest fighder in history because he got bullied.
He owes him some money.
Well, that's what that's what he tells the story. Like he ran into him, gave him a couple $, like
Really?
shit, yeah.
That's fucking great.
It was like the best experience of his life.
Damn.
Well, that's my number one, dude. This past weekend
with old Theo Von, the mullet.
the mullet himself, gender neutral haircut.
Dude, my my number one is, like I said, I think I mentioned this on our YouTube channel, but dude, the Cinema Sins podcast, bro.
Yeah,
Or the Sincast is what they call it.
Sincast.
Dude, it's just it's the one that I look forward to the most on Monday morning.
Yeah.
It's like that's when it drops. Like same time as ours drops, like 5:30 in the morning, dude. That's when they're out.
Get you ready.
And that's the one. That's the first one I listen to Monday, dude. It's just so good, man. It's just three dudes just talking about movies, and like the way they do their episodes is just real clever. Like right now they're doing Road Trip, which is they in alphabetical order. They just go from each state in the country and then just talk about all the movies that were made there.
Okay.
So it's fucking good. I'm looking forward to the West Virginia
Oh hell
episode.
yeah! Gods and Generals.
Yeah. October Sky.
Homer Hickam himself, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I've never seen that video, that fucking movie so much.
Oh man, it's good though.
Go to public school in West Virginia, bro.
Dude, I watched the fuck out of that movie before I even moved up here, dude. That was like one of my favorite movies.
The best part's when he blows up his fucking mom's fence.
Oh yeah.
That's the best part. Jake the Snake Gyllenhaal, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, the one they did before that, they did like every movies from like every year that they've been alive.
Okay.
Like they would just go through that whole year, and then at the end they would vote on like what they thought was the best.
Mm-hmm.
And then after they did that, what inspired our greatest band of all time bracket, where I kind of got the idea and stole it from, was from these guys.
Okay.
But they did like greatest movie of all time bracket, and the way they did their seating was basically based off their previous series, where it was like all the movies from every year they've been
right.
born. They did the seating a lot better. They said they like worked on it for weeks and weeks trying to figure out what went where and stuff. But it was good as fuck, man, because they started out in like the I think they did 32. I think was it. They started the first round and the Sweet 16 and Elite 8, and then the Final 4 and up until the championship. So they broke it down over like a month's worth. And then before they went on the road trip, they would do just this regular one where they would do like they would just pick a topic and they would talk about it. They're always like 2 hours. First hour would just be about whatever topic they would choose, and then they would have like a rant, and then like recommend and warns like for movies.
Okay. And
then like movie news and shit, and then they would answer like questions at the end, dude. It's good, man.
Huh.
And I just signed up for their Patreon to get some of their Patreon shit, which like comes with extra episodes that only patrons get and stuff. So it's pretty cool, man. I was listening to the first one they did the other day. It was really cool, like something you don't really think about, but it was like good movies that were ruined by the ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Stranger Than Fiction.
That was one of the ones
that's the number one, dude.
That was the one they were talking about. Like that was one of the ones they brought up.
He should have died. He should have fucking died, dude.
But
damn.
Yeah, it's good, man.
Yeah.
My favorite podcast at this moment.
Like
I said, a year from now it could change. One of them might have a Me Too moment and fuck it all up, and then it'll suck.
Swap the whole list. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never know, dude.
Yeah, that's like the only movie podcast. Dude, there used to be so many good ones, man.
So many great ones. Just poop now.
Yeah, just poop.
Poop.
Except for Sincast, dude. They're fucking good, dude. If you like Cinema Sins, their podcast is... I mean, I enjoy it more than their YouTube channel, to be honest with you. It's more accessible. I don't have to dedicate like 20 minutes to watch on a phone or laptop somewhere.
You can lock your phone.
Yeah.
And listen to
it. Yeah. Right. So, but that's my number one, dude. Sincast.
What a list, dude.
It was a good one, man.
What a
we
list.
only shared a couple.
Just a few, man.
Yeah.
It's the thing about podcasts. There's something for everybody.
Yeah, but thank you for listening.
We appreciate it.
We do appreciate it.
What are we gonna? We got Christmas coming up, man.
We do got Christmas coming up, man. I don't know what we're gonna do this year for Christmas. We tackled movies and
songs
last year, so there's always those that y'all can revisit. New listeners,
right?
We'll repost them.
We'll think of something.
We'll come up with some kind of Christmas special. So let us know if you have
if you got
idea.
the best idea, man.
So
we'll do it.
But until next week,
I'm Scott.
I'm Aaron. We'll see you guys later.
Later.